It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine?
Hello neighbors! Today we're going to talk about evolutionary science, specifically the origins of man and the history of the development of evolutionary science. Here we have a book, Darwin's Storytime, by Itzel Lopez. Let's read. Once upon a time, people believed that man had emerged from the Garden of Eden through Adam and Eve. However, people of logic found it shocking and disturbing that the human race had come into being from hundreds and thousands of years of incest. By the 1800s, new ideas came forward. An English geologist by the name of Charles Lyell found that the same process that had shaped the Earth millions of years ago was doing the same today. This scientific idea is called uniformitarianism. Around the same time in France, a man by the name of Jean-Baptiste Lamarck was studying animals at the Muséum National d'Histoire Naturelle. Lamarck published his famous book in 1801, Système des animaux sans vertébrés. It is said that parents pass on their traits to their children, at least this is what Lamarck said, and that all life as we know it had arisen from generations of adjustment to the environment. However, Lamarck made one big mistake. He believed that parents could pass their personality to their offspring. If this was true, then pirates would have babies with peg legs, and Michael Jackson's children would be freakier than him, possibly having claws. However, a man thought a little differently. Charles Darwin was born the same day as Abraham Lincoln, on February 12, 1809. As an English boy, he devoted himself to with fascination of the natural world. When he left college and joined the crew of the HMS Beagle, he went to and fro around the world as a geologist and naturalist. From his voyage, Darwin collected notes on all the species he encountered, and he was able to figure out that all life had emerged from common ancestry. And he published this theory in 1859 in his controversial book, The Origin of Species. The Origin of Species showed Darwin's conclusive evidence that animals evolved as they are today by trying not to die, and reproducing as many healthy offspring as possible. Darwin understood that animal populations usually grow faster than the food supplies they rely on. Thus, animals have to compete to eat. Charles Darwin borrowed this idea from English economist Charles Mathis. Thus, animals that have traits and physical characteristics that give them an advantage are more likely to survive and reproduce offspring with similar traits that likewise give them a better advantage. Thus, Darwin was able to conclude in his 1871 book, The Descent of Man, that our species had emerged today from a common ancestor, one that we shared with chimpanzees. The end! Well, wasn't that wonderful, neighbors? Evolution still is a controversial theory, though. Well, at least for stupid people it is. In the 19th century, elitists swapped the Bible for the origin of species and used it to justify their elitism. They used it to justify racism and their position of class. This is known as social Darwinism. Darwin also inspired other radical thinkers, such as Marx, who believed that society could evolve and man could become a new species. This idea was especially used by the French philosopher Auguste Comte, as Mr. Sock will now explain.
Hello, children! Today we're going to talk about the French father of sociology, Auguste Comte. Yay! Sociology is the use of science to understand human society. Auguste Comte was a Frenchman who was inspired by the socialist Saint-Simon and the scientist Lamarck. Comte believed that society could be scientifically understood and human relationships could follow certain scientific laws. This is known as the positive method. Comte believed that science could be used to improve society through planning, specifically economic planning. This would later on inspire the socialist writers Marx and Engels, and would be a core in the later 19th century development of radicalism. Hooray!
Wasn't that just wonderful? Special programming like that can only be brought to you on stations like PBS, the Public Broadcasting Network. It's a shame, though, because we depend on viewers like you. In fact, the very life of the show, of Mr. McGettigan, depends on viewers like you. Wouldn't it be a shame if he suddenly just disappeared forever? But remember, PBS is devoted to you. So tonight we're going to show you a clip from our upcoming Sunday movie, A Friday for Faraday. Let's enjoy. They said it couldn't be done, but after years of experimentation, I've done it! Behold, the electric dynamo! What does it do, Governor? It generates electric power. Electric phenomena is all the same. Static electricity and lightning are the same thing. You're said to be the greatest experimenter of the 19th century. Are you part of some cult? Yes, the Scottish Centenarians. I'm sorry, children, if you want to see more of Saki the Sock Puppet, but you have to understand, the bourgeois that control PBS cut him off, and now he's silenced forever. However, let's talk about the periodic table. Did you know that was created in 1869 by Russian scientist Dmitry Mendeleev? What he did was that he listed all the most basic elements on a table by their atomic mass. Now, you have to understand, elements are used in chemicals that are under the sink that you're not supposed to drink, and chemicals that are found in the pills that help me sleep at night. In fact, let's sing a song about the periodic table right now. I'm sorry, children, we can't visit the land of make-believe today. Because of budget cuts, we might have sold it off to UPN. However, we did have a very special day. We did learn about Charles Darwin, Lyell, and Lamarck, Dmitry Mendeleev, and we also listened to Saki the Sock Puppet discuss sociology and how it can change society. However, we'll be back again next week. Goodbye, neighbors! I'm living proof of evolution. I thought graduating from Juilliard would be enough, and when I competed for that part in that Broadway play, I thought I was going to get it. But there was a woman who competed with me, and she had a special trait, a special inherited trait that she used on the director and the two producers. That's why I'm on TV now singing to you kids and all the puppets.